freaked out very, very badly. Freaked out on acid. I lived for it.
So people have asked me, like, what's the hardest drug you've had to kick? And by far, not that I've had to kick a whole shitload of drugs, but I've had a pretty good round with a few of them. By far, the hardest one to kick, to quit, alcohol. And I'm not never said I quit, but that was the hardest one to kick. Um, Alcohol withdrawal, detox is fucking not a joke, and it's so underrated. I mean, people, I think because alcohol is illegal, people assume that it must be safer, or it must, there must be an easy way out of that. Well, I'll tell you this: if you're drinking more than like 3 drinks a day, every day, and you do that for a good several months, um, you're probably gonna know what the DTs are. I mean, the DTs, the detox, come in various levels, right? I mean, the mild ones are just a little irritability, maybe restlessness, sleeplessness, um, you know, to the next level where you start to get the shakes a little bit. That may be like the level 2 or 3. I don't know. But, and then the full on level where like you should probably be in like some sort of rehabilitation, like a hospital of some sort to help you with the withdrawals. But when you have all of those, but you also have the sweats and you're shaking and dry heaving a lot, or puking and scary part. So of course there's no sleep, no rest for the wicked here, but it's the audio and visual hallucinations. I mean, you'll full on hallucinate. I mean, I've hallucinated, heard voices, and that's the scary part. Well, not really scary. It's really fucking annoying to me, but I'm no um, stranger to hallucinations. But those types of hallucinations are not wanted. They're not like LSD or mushroom hallucinations. These are kind of more like I don't know, hearing voices. Like you'll hear like say a fan. Fan would always get you to hear voices coming out of the fans, or you hear somebody whisper something in your name, or even like just weird shit. That's part of like the alcohol psychosis, I think is what they call it. And people can lose their shit on that. And in my case, I actually had 2 seizures, crashed 2 cars, had 2 seizures. Trying actually I had 3, crashed 2 cars. I don't actually I probably had 4, but I don't think I knew what the first one was. But yeah, it's pretty real. So be careful if you're drinking more than 3 drinks a day and you're doing that for I'd say more than several months. It starts off as just a couple glasses of wine a day, and if you can keep it at that, awesome. But if 2 or 3 glasses of wine a day tend to fall into more, which it usually will because you usually get acclimated and your tolerance is right there. To now that 2 or 3 bottle cups of wine slowly move up to a bottle a day. Before you know it, it's easy to do. Trust me. But yeah, alcohol is by far. I'm not going to lecture you. Drink all you want. I still drink, obviously. I'm drinking some Zinfandel right now. Don't make fun of me. It was free. So yeah. Benzos number 2. Benzos were a motherfucker. Um, Very similar to alcohol, actually. A little bit different, but it was very similar. Not quite as bad as far as the shakes goes. I didn't hallucinate or anything like that, or hear voices. I didn't have any seizures. Ironically, they give benzos to treat alcohol DTs, but the benzos have their own DTs. It was just a real pain in the ass. I mean, it was just a real bad urge, bad craving, um, restlessness. I was fucking bad mood, man. I was an evil fucking motherfucker for about a week when I ran out of Xanax, and I had bought like 1,000 Xanax, right? So like I had popped those fucking things every day for at least 6 months, and I mean not like huge amounts or anything, but enough that I developed a pretty heavy habit. That was pretty hard to kick, and I guess the only 2 things that can kill you, as far as withdrawals go, are alcohol and benzos. So they both have an effect on the nervous system to a way where it can make you have seizures and strokes or heart attacks and shit like that. I'm not exactly sure, and again, I'm not a doctor, so this is just my opinion. But yeah, those 2 I know are the only ones that will kill you. Now, I guess heroin, I never had to kick that because I never liked it. But I guess that will make you want to die, but you won't. But I guess that's pretty bad too. I'm sure it is. But these are just in my experiences. So that would be number 2 would be benzos, your Xanax, Klonopins, shit like that. Number 3 would have been cocaine. Cocaine was a motherfucker too. Cocaine was just a really bad fucking urge to do it. And when I was out, it was I don't know how to describe it. Kind of like when you're quitting smoking, but times that by like 5. Quitting smoking sucks too. I should have added that on the list, but I don't even consider that a drug. We all know it is technically, but whatever. Um, yeah, cocaine was pretty bad. I had to basically, I decided to leave town for a little bit just because I knew too many people, and like cocaine and alcohol go hand in hand. And ironically, to kick alcohol, wait a minute, no, to kick cocaine, I used alcohol, right? Which is weird because usually alcohol triggers you to want to do cocaine. A lot of people only do cocaine when they're drinking. I don't know why, but it goes like hand in hand like that. Cocaine and alcohol. You'd be surprised how many people that you never think do cocaine when they're drunk. They'll be in the bathroom dogpiling under to do a line with somebody or bump off somebody's key. Anyway, though, yeah, but I used alcohol to kick cocaine because that alcohol seemed to like suppress the urge to do it. Not to do it because I wanted to do it, but it somehow just made me calmer. I don't know. But then I got strung out on alcohol. It was weird. It was a weird deal. You got to be careful with that too. Using other drugs, kick other drugs. I'll get to that in a second. So yeah, cocaine was bad. Meth was bad, but not meth was the easiest out of all. But meth was, I'd say, quitting smoking cigarettes was harder than kicking meth. Kicking meth is just, I don't know. It's probably like trying to diet. Like you're trying to stick to 1,500 calories a day or whatever. It's a motherfucker. You want that shit. It's there. You love those fucking Twinkies. I mean, joking. No, I'm not actually. Yeah, I mean, it's probably the same thing. It's just that urge to do it. I mean, so yeah, I don't even know how to describe the cravings, but yeah, it's like it was worse than quitting, or probably a little less hard than quitting smoking. Um, I mean, I don't know. That's my opinion. Alcohol is way underrated. That's by far the hardest, in my opinion. Benzos is pretty fucking tough. Cocaine, yes, and meth, meh. Although yeah, I use meth to kick alcohol, which is not a very common strategy or methodology, but it worked. Shrooms, microdosing on. I didn't know this at the time, otherwise I would have tried that instead. I guess microdosing LSD and shrooms works wonders for alcoholism too. Which I wish I would have known. Instead, I just did a bunch of meth, but I ate it. So I'll get to that video in a second. Well, that video's already made, but there's a video that reminded me of another video I want to make about Molly and meth. All right.
It's great.